Hey everybody, Chris here. I've got updated news on the Dogecoin ETFs, and they are going to be huge. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. The Bitcoin ETFs have been a huge success. The Ethereum ETFs started a little slow, but this summer we have seen huge buying institutional support for the ETH ETFs. What's going to happen with Doge and the Dogecoin ETFs? We're going to talk about that. Let's get into the news and the charts. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here with the current Dogecoin chart, just under 23 cents as I'm recording this. We did have a bit of a run yesterday in the afternoon when most cryptos were just kind of flat. Doge got a boost thanks to the information I'm about to share with you about a Doge ETF filing or refiling. And then we had the Trump-Putin talks where with Putin we had green candles and then Trump started talking and then we got red candles. But that's how it goes. We'll be following that as well on the next live stream Saturday afternoon. Come join in. We'll follow up on any of the ETF questions that you may have as well, but you can always drop a comment in the description below in the video where you can ask questions as well. Don't mind at all. So what's going on? Well, on my X channel, during the live stream that we had on Friday, there was a lot of buzz in the chat about Dogecoin ETF, and I'm just saying, that's old stuff, right? That's all old, especially with Grayscale. Grayscale already filed. They filed for their trust, right? The 19B4 form. And they're like, no, there's a new one. And so, okay. So I reposted from DA Sales, who had the best information there. And I'm like, huge news for Doge and Grayscale spot ETF for Doge. Curious what happened with 19B4 and the conversion from the trust as previously filed. And you guys are probably like, I don't care about all this information. This does, I want price to go up. I get it, right? But this is big for Dogecoin. I mean, we're talking Bitcoin ETFs, ETH ETFs, right? But Dogecoin, we're talking about, yes, a meme coin with an ETF. That's right. So this is the SEC form here. And essentially, it's still the Dogecoin Trust. And from what I understand, they're taking that 19B4 that they had before for the trust, and they have to then refile under an S1 once that 19B4, that whole conversion thing has to go to an S1 before it can be officially approved for trading as an ETF. That's the way I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. And DA Sales, who had the best information here, was like, they're going to launch the Grayscale Dogecoin Trust ETF under the ticker GDOG. I love that, right? GDOG for Grayscale Dogecoin, GDOG. ETF would hold Doge directly, aiming to track its market price. Creation, redemption, currently cash only. Possible in-kind Doge transfers could be later. And the custody is going to be by Coinbase custody, which is what most of the Bitcoin and ETH ETF they use as well. So this is the Grayscale filing a second application. So that's essentially what it is. So don't be confused, right? Like, it's got to start over. Well, that's not my understanding that it starts over. This is part of the process, and not all news organizations or other people who are reposting this news are really getting the correct information. So, but I love that GDOG, right? It's going to be called GDOG. And this whole thing about the shares, how they're issued, and there are these blocks called baskets, and I'm not sure how all of that works as far as an ETF. What I do know, though, is that the more buying there happens on the ETF, the more Dogecoin that Grayscale would need to buy and have in Coinbase custody. So it's got to be a one-to-one, right? So a bunch of people sell, right? And then Grayscale would sell out of the Coinbase. We see this with Bitcoin and ETH and how their ETFs are going. this would be the same for Grayscale. So this is very cool, right? Very, very cool. Legitimizes Dogecoin as an investment vehicle, right? And there are people who would never buy Doge. Say they want to start like a Coinbase account or Robinhood, go onto a crypto exchange and buy Dogecoin. They just want to call up their broker and say, get me some of that Dogecoin. And they would buy the ETFs. And we see huge buying of ETFs of Bitcoin and ETH. And this would be for Doge. Well, Doge isn't the only one that's coming for approval, but this is, and it's not just Grayscale. They're not the only one, because we have Bitwise, we have Rex shares, and we've got 21 shares all waiting for Dogecoin approval as well. So the market reaction was good. The price jumped 2.5% to 6%. Now, of course, overnight, it's kind of fallen back a little bit, but positive reaction. The last time there was that James Seifert posted this form that he's made. He's with Bloomberg, and he's tracking all of these other ETF applications for different altcoins. And there's Dogecoins right there. Grayscale, Bitwise, 21 shares. He didn't have the Rex Osprey thing in here as well. But the final SEC deadline is still October 17th. So likely, yes, SEC currently views as a commodity. CFTC regulated futures, yes, 90% chance of approval. It's probably higher now, I would think, because this was back in June. He posted this in June. So that would be the 240 days from the acknowledgement of the 19B4 is what that is. So Grayscale's now got their S1. Let's go, right? Let's go. Now, we're going to hear about Litecoin October 2nd, Solana October 10th, and XRP and Dogecoin on the 17th. Cardano's is on the 23rd, and then we've got some others later on in November, December, etc. So that's how I understand it, is that, and that's what happened with Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin used the whole 240 days and then was finally approved like the day before, that last day. So the 16th of October, we will be keenly watching for that SEC approval. That's going to be huge. That is going to be huge. Meanwhile, Dogecoin price aims to dodge the bears. We want to dodge the bears, right? It's August, still summer of chop. I get it, right? We get on the little run and then there's a pullback. Take advantage of it, buying on dips. That's what we've been doing. I'm still very bullish for the fall, obviously. We got rate cuts, not only the ETFs, but House of Doge and BitOrigin. We've got Doge OS coming out with all these great apps. Like all of that is going to be happening. Whales. Ali just keeps posting these charts about all these whale buyings, which of course aren't always. If the whales were buying so much Doge price would be over 50 cents right now. It's not all purchases, but I know we try and keep things real here, not get too far ahead of ourselves. But if we can get a breakout above 24 cents, we could have a bullish continuation. So let's get to 24 cents, all right? Let's go. Let's go. We zoom out and we look at the overall 4-year cycles going back to Bitcoin, and we're like, look, we haven't even had the blow off top yet. We had in 2013, 2017, 2021, we had that second run. This is still coming. This is still coming. Cut the noise, follow the script. Generational wealth isn't built in comfort zones, right? You go from boredom to fear to disbelief, and then moon. Let's do the moon, right? Let's go to the moon. Crypto Rover, of course he's a purple bull, right? Don't turn bearish on Bitcoin at the wrong moment. What's coming? What's coming next? Again, not financial advice and no guarantees, but all of these charts are all looking great. Of course, our friend Trader Ellen also getting on the Bitcoin bandwagon, saying, look, we've been here before. We've seen this kind of pattern before. We had an up, slow down, and then recovery straight up and then across. We had that sideways movement last year before the big breakout. And here we are in this sideways movement, and we just had a breakout above that with Bitcoin. Is that the next move? And with Doge, what's going to happen? Do we continue this sort of trend where that next move up is more explosive than what we had last November? That would be very, very bullish. $1.40, that would be awesome. Again, this is the potential that Dogecoin has. And you know when Dogecoin starts trading up, you get those green candles going. Everyone gets excited, the FOMO kicks in, and Doge can really go on a big run. No guarantees with that, but we will be watching, so make sure you're subscribed, you got your notifications on, you're following, like the video, leave a comment below. What do you think about the Dogecoin ETFs as an investment for Dogecoin? Join in on the live streams as well, because we will continue this conversation and talk about so much more. So we'll see you next time.